health and safety hazards, and it's not cost effective to repair, then we will keep some budget to do that replacement. But primarily we are focused on the fabric of the buildings because that has greater risks attached to it.
Thank you. Just one final bit. So with the 12 million budget, let's say, that we spent last year, how many people were we able to house? How many new people who were not housed by the council? Because I just want to understand that we are saying now, let's go up to 17 million on the capital expense. So are we only looking to, and how many people or how many families can Woking Borough house within that year with that kind of provision, whether reinvesting, maintaining, bringing the stock up to, a standard?
I wonder if I might help, because I think your question touches on a slightly broader issue. Actually, I think what you're driving at is a reflection of the number of people waiting for accommodation per se. So the repair work is actually about bringing the housing stock up to scratch, if you like, if I can put it in that way. It doesn't result overall in a net increase in the number of homes that we have available. I think the issue that you're shining a light on is more about the availability of not just council accommodation, but so-called affordable housing for people who are struggling to find accommodation that they can afford. And that's a much broader issue than just the housing revenue account. It does go, for example, to the significance of things like the local plan. So we're in the process of reviewing our local plan. And one of the issues to work through as part of that process is how much additional housing supply we need to unlock within Woking. Because Woking, and I have to say it's true of the wider Surrey area and much of the southeast, is in a situation where there is a mismatch between the number of people that are trying to find somewhere to live, particularly that is affordable, and the number of homes that are available to meet that need. So with the housing revenue account, essentially what we're doing is looking to bring accommodation up to a decent standard, but that is not going to increase the supply of homes for people that are waiting for accommodation. The tools that we need to look for to increase that supply lie particularly in the planning system through that local plan process.
Slightly disagree here, because we have a stock underutilized, not utilized, not in a condition that requires maintenance. And that survey report that we did last year and a year before, analyzing the condition of the stock, how the properties that we own, in what condition they are, what kind of expenses needed. All I'm trying to understand, does that account, HRA account, invest on that? Because apparently the properties that are just sitting and sleeping, if we had some investment last year, we could have had some additional houses. Is that not correct?
Sorry, I think you're probably referring back to the point about the Shearwater homes. So let me put it this way. Absolutely, you are right. If we can bring some homes that are not currently in use into use, then that obviously makes a contribution, as does reducing void times. The quicker we can turn homes round once they become available, that obviously helps more people. But it's fairly at the margins in the context of the number of people that are finding difficulty finding homes that they can afford to live with. So ultimately, we need to look to the planning system to help us increase the availability, the supply of homes for people who are currently struggling. So the HRA does make a contribution in the way you just outlined, but in the scheme of things, it's a relatively small contribution. It's other tools that we have to look for to address that bigger imbalance of demand and supply, basically.
Thank you, Richard. Councillor Rhodes.
The Lake